Mercy thought she had a preacher outside. But that night, heaven was calling her name. While rain covered the streets of Lagos, a broken girl stood one step away from destruction. And for the first time in years, Grace came looking for her. Barefoot, trembling, emotionally exhausted, Mercy walked into the rain. Every step felt heavy. Every breath carried years of hidden pain. And outside the estate gate stood a man preaching about Jesus with unusual passion, not knowing heaven had sent him there for one soul. Then suddenly, Mercy could not stand anymore. The weight of guilt became unbearable. The secrets, the addictions, the abortions, the depression, everything she buried for years, began pouring out in the rain. And before strangers, Mercy broke completely. But Emeka did not condemn her, because he understood brokenness himself. The same grace that found him in prison was now reaching for mercy. Not with judgment, not with rejection, but with love. And for the first time in a long time, Mercy had something her soul desperately needed: forgiveness. That rainy night in Lagos, Mercy stopped running from God. The girl who once searched for peace in parties, relationships, money, and social media, finally collapsed at the feet of Jesus. Tears mixed with rain as years of pain left her heart. And while heaven watched, Mercy surrendered completely. That night, Mercy found mercy. Jesus did not just save Mercy from death. He gave her a new life. Slowly, the addictions disappeared. The emptiness faded. The depression lost its grip. The girl who once cried herself to sleep now woke up with peace. And the same social media once filled with vanity became a place where she shared hope. People saw beauty before, but now they could finally see light. Years later, Mercy and Emeka became living proof that God still restores broken people. The suicidal girl became a voice of healing. The former criminal became a preacher of grace. Their scars became testimonies. Their pain became purpose. And everywhere they went across Nigeria, broken people encountered hope. That night in Lagos was only the beginning. Now, thousands gathered to hear the story of what Jesus had done. Not religion, not motivation, but transformation. Because the same Jesus who rescued Mercy was still changing lives. The same Jesus who rebuilt Emeka was still calling sinners home. Years earlier, Mercy stood alone in darkness, ready to end her life. And Emeka sat broken inside a prison cell, believing his future was over. But grace rewrote both stories. Now, the same girl who once cried herself to sleep walked down the aisle filled with peace. Not because life became perfect, but because Jesus healed what pain had destroyed. And waiting at the altar stood a man grace rebuilt. The former street fighter, the former prisoner, now stood as a testimony of God's mercy. Not condemned by his past, but transformed by Christ. What began with tears in the rain became a covenant before God. Two wounded people, healed by the same Jesus. Two broken stories, joined together by grace. Heaven rejoices when lives are restored. And on this day, love stood where pain once lived. Joy replaced depression. Peace replaced emptiness. Purpose replaced shame. Mercy found mercy. Emeka found redemption. And together, they became living proof that Jesus still changes lives. Maybe your life feels broken today. Maybe your past still haunts you. Maybe you believe God cannot restore what has been damaged. But this story is proof. No life is too ruined for grace. No heart is too lost for Jesus. And no story is beyond restoration. Because the same Jesus who rescued Mercy and Emeka is still saving lives today. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.